from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night. Real America's Voice. Glad you're in. Yellow. Slick Rick's going to do some sports. Aaron and Fran holding it down. And, well, look who's back. Look who's back, Slick. Mr.
The prom king.
Prom.
There was a prom. Shut up.
Mr. I went to the prom.
Monday night prom.
Monday night prom in July after the kids had graduated. Okay, sure you did.
I think you have some explaining to do.
Delgado's here. Mr. Delgado, how are you?
I'm starting to recover from the weekend of graduation party and prom that happened.
You're really going to try this? You're going to try this tonight, really?
I don't need your crap. The damn school had the prom on a Monday night.
Really?
Come on.
Yeah.
Now, Slick, to be fair, you actually said to me before the show started that you actually are now actually believing Delgado's stuff here?
I happened to see a caption on a local news channel that talked about this particular prom where they had their prom. And they talked about, the parents' involvement. And I said, oh, my God, that's the prom that Delgado's at tonight. So I have to admit, there is some legitimacy to that.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Delgado, you're bailed out. Fine. We were going to hold your feet to the fire here all night on your prom.
That's okay. I brought evidence.
Yeah, but did he tell you that he rented a Ferrari for the kid and all day? Let's get into it here. Come on.
He did what?
I saw the pictures. Look at this.
That's my stepson, Connor, and his date.
Wow, look at the two of them.
Yeah, it looks like she's wearing my collar.
Look like they're at the premiere for...
Yeah.
They do it big. When they do, this is a tradition at this particular high school. And they do it big. The parents all get involved in building the prom.
And that's the car they showed up in?
Did you? My hairdresser has that same car, which is no surprise. And,
for what he charges
and he lives in Point.
He probably has one in each color.
Yeah, exactly.
So Delgado, they showed up in that car.
Yes.
Wow.
Is that your
your weekend get around?
I wish.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's his station.
I had to return it today.
It's a station car.
I had to return it today and was quickly reminded my car sucks.
Oh my God! Thank God you didn't hit a deer. Yeah.
But,
man.
So proof positive that the prom did happen last night.
There you go.
Wow.
Slick said it was featured on the local news.
It was.
Okay.
He had receipts.
The theme of it was 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. The parents all chip in. They organize it. They coordinate it. They build it.
Wow.
There's some great pictures I can if I find them, I'll try and get them.
And where was this shindig held?
At the high school.
Wow.
Oh.
They do it to the high school.
Yeah.
Wow.
The entire front of the high school gets covered with a facade that's built and painted specifically for the theme, which the kids don't know until they get there because the parents keep it all to themselves.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
It was very.
Cool.
It was beautiful with how they decorated it and everything. It really was nice.
All right, well, good. So, I mean, we were going to have fun at your expense, but I guess we're not.
But you can't.
We'll find something else before the show's over.
We'll find something else.
Because I was at the prom.
Okay, you were at the prom. You were at the prom.
I was responsible for that presentation right there.
That was that's pretty well done.
Yeah, did a good job.
Like showing up. What kind of Ferrari was that?
That was a Ferrari California.
They're nice.
The
like
2014 version of the Ferris Bueller car that is so choice.
I like that California look. Yeah. I saw one in a nice blue I wanted years ago.
And after the kid gets a little taste of that, I'm sure he didn't want to give it up.
Yeah, he only could drive it through the parking lot. That's about it. I drove it the other 23 hours of the day.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Which is why I said when I dropped it off today, I got into my car and was quickly reminded that my car sucks.
Yeah, okay. Very good.
So,
all right, very good. So Delgado will have some news now that he's off the hook for that. Slick's going to do some sports. Yellow. Aaron and Fran holding it down. Slickster, how was your day?
My day was good today.
Did you drive any Ferraris or anything? No.
No, not today. No Ferraris today.
Okay.
Yep.
Me neither.
Yep. California dreaming, maybe, yeah, but no California Ferraris.
All right, very good. So David Zier will join us a little bit later. Harry on the Highway will be here as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down. As always, lots to talk about here on a Tuesday night. Of course, we're on tonight. Tomorrow we'll be off Thursday, Friday, 4th of July weekend, obviously. Then we'll be back on Monday. So we will see you tonight and tomorrow night. We're off Thursday and Friday, so just make a mental note. When you turn on your TV, I don't get emails of where we are. We're off Thursday, Friday. We'll be back on Monday. So Biden now says that the reason that he was so terrible on Thursday night was that he did too much traveling before the debate.
Traveling.
Now, he traveled and I believe was home for about 12 days before the debate, in which he went to Camp David. And the reports are that he napped every day and didn't start debate prep till around 10, 11 a.m. in the morning.
Till 11 a.m., and they had a 6-hour window to work with, and that was about it.
So, I mean, I'm kind of just wondering what would have made the difference? Like another week? Or, 12 days back, even at that age, you would think you could get, my parents, my in-laws go to Germany and come back, and they're about the same age, and they get accustomed back to the body clock here pretty quickly and get about their day. How much time did he need? He says, I wasn't too smart. I did a lot of traveling. And I came back, and he admits that he almost fell asleep on the debate stage, which I think he probably did just with his eyes open.
Again, he's lying. He didn't do any traveling. We know that because they said he was sequestered for more than 7 days at Camp David, which means no traveling.
Well, it's
you
before
don't go
that.
anywhere.
That's what I'm saying. He was home for 12 days. 7 of it he spent at Camp David.
Right.
So he had another 4 or 5 even before he went to Camp David that he was back here.
So that excuse is also BS, much like everything else he talks about. So that's not it. You got anything else for us, Joe? Maybe the two brain cells you're still relying on to make any cognitive thoughts just weren't talking to each other that day. Maybe that's the problem.
And as we said on last night's show, it was going to be really interesting to see where the knives come out and where they don't come out. And I would say you're seeing more come out than not. Even in the littlest of ways. Nancy Pelosi says today that it's fair to ask if this is just an episode or if this is a condition, which I thought was interesting words she chose.
Coming from her.
Yeah, of course. Tim Ryan, Democrat in Ohio, who used to be pretty high on the Democrats' list of the next big star. He says there's no recovering from something like this for Biden.
Well, you mean dementia or
Well, no, the debate performance, but that too, probably.
That too. Okay.
Both.
The stakes are too high right now, he says. So he's I don't think he's publicly said Biden needs to get out, but he's come pretty close. There is a Democrat that's come out and said it's time for Biden to come out. He's the first one publicly to come out. I forget his name. I actually have a clip of him. This is Representative Lloyd Doggett. He was on MSNBC. He also put out a statement. Here he is. I believe he's the first Democrat congressman to call for Biden to drop out. Here's what he said.
You are, at least at the moment now, Congressman, as you well know, out on, to a degree, a limb by yourself, the only Democratic lawmaker who has now put your name behind this call for President Biden to step aside. Have you heard from any other colleagues who feel the same way?
Yes, I have, and I understood it was a limb when I crawled out on it. I've been in Congress. You can tell I'm not the most youthful member there, and I'm not the most endangered member. And I thought it was time for me to speak up, not for any self-gain, but because I think the risk to our country is so great, and we need to have the strongest candidate possible in order to assure that the values that we hold for our democracy are not traded for an authoritarian strongman bent on revenge against his opponents.
Do you expect any of the other colleagues that you've heard
Texas.
from to follow your lead?
I'm hopeful that some of them will. Maybe more importantly is that they express their views privately to the White House. It's only natural, as you were describing, that the staff and the family gathers, though I would hope that he has more advice than from Hunter Biden, but that they gather.
Wow, well, he's never made a bad decision.
Never.
In support of him. Stand by your man. But we need the reality of the discontent that's out there among those of us who fear a Republican House and Senate and who fear for the future of our country. And just to look at the cold, hard numbers from the polls that they went down instead of going up.
You mentioned.
Yeah. Speaking of that, we'll leave that there. Did you see the internal Dem polling that leaked?
No.
Now, it's interesting that this is all quote-unquote leaking. I'm not so
Yes.
sure it's leaking. I think it may be leaking, but it may be on purpose. So this is internal polling post-debate that leaked via something called Puck News, P-U-C-K, and it is a P on the front. And it's this is what it says. Biden is barely winning Colorado, Minnesota, Maine, down in Mexico, Virginia, and New Hampshire, down 7 in Pennsylvania, 9 in Arizona, 10 in Georgia. And this is, you can see some of the difference in some of these states. And I mean, this is getting to the point where, again, I'm like I said last night, and I'll continue to repeat, there's no polls that are giving me any sense of comfort this far out. I'm just not going to let that happen because I know who we're up against here. But having said that, if any of this is actually accurate, then you've got a situation where Biden could be maybe win 150 electoral votes. I mean, just the absolute most solid blue of blue that you can imagine. California, New York, Illinois, Washington, whatever the map. I mean, this is effectively over if he's the nominee and any of these are even remotely correct.
Yeah, that's just based on if it was held today. Now you look down the road, what, another 5 months? 5 months.
4 months. Yeah, whatever it is. 200
you think
days?
those numbers are going to get any better? No. I'm gonna go out on a limb just like that guy did and say no, not getting any better. He's quickly deteriorating, and kind of reminds me of one of my tinfoil hat moments last year when I said they're going to start dialing back his meds. You watch. I think they started dialing back his meds.
Oof.
Well, I don't know. He didn't look great today. Again, everything the White House seems to be doing, if I put myself in their shoes on their team, I would probably be doing the opposite.
Asking for a trade?
Well, no. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I could trade up. I don't think I could trade down to see what it could be and burdened by what has been or whatever the hell. I mean, I just don't think I could. I still don't think that's
No.
But they've boxed themselves in where that's the only move I think they could make if he agreed, which I just don't think. I don't think him or his wife are ever going to agree.
Dr. Jill?
Ever.
No. She's not signing off.
She's not going to allow that.
She's hanging
to happen.
in.
No.
She'll be president if it comes down to it.
Yeah. So, one of Biden's biggest supporters, and I'd say the reason you could say he made it in 2020 to get the nomination, he kind of changed his tune today as well. So when we say the knives are out, I'll tell you about that when we get back live from Studio 6B. Pretty much 400 across the board. 400 on YouTube, 400 on X, 400 on Facebook. Welcome on in, everybody.
401 on the Rumblers.
Make sure you hit the thumbs up, please. Hit the like button as fast as possible. Pat Witter on Facebook. Hey, guys. Love your take on the news. Thank you. Janice. Hello, boys. Glad you're all in. Hi, Damon. Sue. Hi. Mary Johnson, hello. Kathleen Hanley on Facebook, hello. Tommy Viper, what's going on?
Tommy Viper, my brother.
Gary Fisher, greetings from California. Farmer Brooke on X. What's going on, everybody on X?
Frederick Leathers is in the Rumble chat. Tika65.
Tika.
Peggy, Zier will be here. He's with Harry on the highway right now.
Oh, yeah? Then the highway,
he's got the ovens cranking. He's cooking up some big party after the show.
Big party.
Tonight.
Tuesday night in the middle of July. Who would have thought? This is like having a prom in July
it's
as
like
well.
having a Monday.
Who's
right up there with it.
Who the hell has a party on a Tuesday?
Yeah, so that you can't come.
Itchy McFly on X. Did I miss the prom explanation? Well, yes, you did.
Yeah, we can go over it again. Yeah,
It seems like, as much as I hate to say it, Delgado actually was at the
Legit.
was at the prom.
Yep, he was.
Never heard of such a thing after school's out, but I guess that's the way they do it.
That's the way they do it, man.
Yep. Crazy.
Let's see who else is out there. Hi guys from Connecticut, Pat Murray on Facebook.
Oh, Connecticut.
Okay.
I'll be in Connecticut on Saturday. I got to head over there.
Where are you going?
I got a big wedding. My wife's nephew's getting married. So
Town?
actually, my wife's Riley is the young lady. Her parents watch Studio 6B.
Town?
I don't know the town. I'll get it for you. I'll get it for you. Oh, not Danbury. Right over there when you get off the ferry. Norwalk. I think it's like
Norwalk.
Yeah,
okay.
Norwalk. Nice area.
It's a little
Yeah.
south from the ferry. But
I got to get the name of the place that we're going. My wife goes, it's a casual. Make sure it's casual.
Yeah,
All right, I got
casual
something,
for you?
I got something
Yeah.
casual. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got something casual. Don't worry.
I'm sure.
I got a nice piece from England that came yesterday. Don't worry.
Not even his underwear is casual.
I'm sure you do.
I got a nice sequin pinstripe shirt. I'm ready to go.
Seems casual to me.
Yeah.
And a thong.
No, stop. Come on, Delgado. I got some class.
Isn't Danbury where Bannon is? Yes, but no, he's not going anywhere near Danbury.
Yeah, I got
Norwalk.
Yeah, it's somewhere over in that area. I remember the name.
Noran Wamister, Bill and Noran. I also believe from Connecticut. I might have a little inside information on that. Welcome on in on Facebook.
I see a lot of Connecticut license plates on Long Island lately.
All right, 17 past the hour on a, what is it? Tuesday, July 2nd.
Day after the prom.
Real America's Voice, day after the
Prom.
Well, no, I can't do that now because my whole plan tonight has been blown up because Slick told me that it was actually on the news. So Delgado was actually telling the
It
truth.
could have been fake news. I mean, we don't know.
It could have been.
Yeah, that's a liberal.
12?
It's a
Definitely
liberal
trust
station.
that.
That's
Well,
for
it
sure.
was 12, so it could have
Yeah.
been from last week.
It could have been. That's true.
That's a good point.
Play the
Could have
same
been a
news for
rerun.
3 days.
Yeah. So Delgado's here. He's going to do the news. Slick's got sports. Aaron and Fran holding it down. I expect David Zier to be here in a little bit. Him and Harry on the highway together right now. They'll be here in a little bit.
David Zier is searing the dishes, right?
Yes, David's.
They're actually together?
Well, yeah, because we're having
scary.
we're having a 6B soiree after the show tonight.
We
I don't know
are?
if you're aware of this.
You gotta stop by
None of
for
us
it. I
were
wasn't
either, by the
invited.
way.
Come by.
None of us were either till yesterday.
Yeah, we found out last night.
So David Zier decided to cook. Now there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Aaron and Fran, I don't think are even going to go. But let's say they were. That's
they have to get up
6.
early.
David Zier is 7. From Harry 8.
Boy, what a
David
lineup.
Zier has cooked as if the U.S. Army is going to join us. He's cooked for 80.
He's crazy.
I could have used him on Saturday.
I said,
Save me
David,
some money.
who's coming to this? Well, I don't know.
He's making lamb chops, everything. Guy's crazy.
He's got stuffed mushrooms, baked clams, lobster tails, this, that. And I mean, it's like, I said, what? Am I missing something here? I didn't even know about this till yesterday.
He's unbelievable.
Well, so that's what we're doing after the show. I'm going to probably live stream from the party.
Oh, yeah. I'll be there. I'm going, man. Come on.
Yeah, so the only way you're going to see this debacle is if you're subscribed probably to YouTube.
Yeah.
I think that's probably where I'm going to do it.
We're going to be in Harry's pad, right?
Oh, my goodness. Imagine that. We get a live look
You never know
behind the
what
curtain
is going to
at
come
Harry's.
out. You don't know. I told Aaron, if you go, don't lean against the fence. I'll tell you what, you never know what's going to come out of the woodwork at Harry's place.
All right, let's do some sports. 19 past the hour.
Oh, man.
Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell and My Pillow, LFS6B.
Let's go.
I was thinking about what we could do to maybe another giveaway or something on the people who use our code at My Pillow. I got to think of what it is. Just maybe do it like a straight cash prize. I was
Cash?
thinking. Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to think of something today, but
Like $10?
LFS6B is the code to use at My Pillow. Right now, you can still get our shirt of the month absolutely free, or you can get this shirt, Felon Trump's Dementia, which I love. as well. Slick, what's going on in sports?
All right, well, I'm going to give you an update on Wimbledon in the next segment, but because that was underway as well today. But we have Major League Baseball scores right now. Red Sox over the Marlins 5-1, top of the 7th. Also top 7, the Guardians over the White Sox 6-4. Cards lead the Pirates 6-4, bottom 6. Also bottom 6 is the Nationals edging the Mets 2-1. Reds blanking the New York Yankees. It's the top of the 5th inning, and the Reds are in town. I'm not even there tonight. Wow, in Yankee Stadium.
You didn't even know about it.
Yeah, I knew about it. Braves 2-0 over the Giants, top of the 4th. Phillies and Cubs, no score, bottom 1. Also bottom 1, no score, Padres and Rangers. Rays and Royals just underway, no score there. Brewers and Rockies, 8:40 first pitch. Then we have the Orioles out in Seattle taking on the Mariners. That's at 9:40. And then at 10:10, the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers get it on. And we got a All-Star game coming up next week, so we'll be reporting on that. I don't think there'll be too many controversies over that this year. And get into a couple of quick stories here. Well, I do want to get to another rodeo we have underway, the Greeley Stampede in Greeley, Colorado. Nothing like a rodeo in Colorado. Come on. Island Grove Arena. Bareback riding, first round, Dean Thompson, 88 points on Butler and Son Rodeo's Black Cat. Steer wrestling in the second round. We have a tie. Jesse Brown and Logan Kenline, 3.3 seconds each. Team roping, Caleb Driggers and Junior Noguera, 3.6 seconds. Saddle Bronc, first round. Statlerite, 89 points on Butler and Son Rodeo's 4 aces. I said aces. Tie down. Here we go. Second round. Tanner Green, 7.4 seconds. Bower Racing. Brittany Posey Tenosi. Big D, that's your girl. 17.21 tenths. Good time there for that young lady. Bull riding. Hayes Waite, 86.5 points on Rocky Mountain Rodeo's Wolf on Wall Street. Well, sound like a movie. Total payout, $439,422 buckaroos. And, well, get to this story over here on Fox News. We got a couple of good ones on Fox Sports. As soon as I could dial them up. Here we go. And, well, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron, I don't know what's going on with your boy here. Aaron Rodgers' whereabouts during unexcused Jets minicamp absence is now revealed. Rodgers planned a trip to Egypt during his Achilles recovery without knowing the minicamp dates by Scott Thompson. I'll tell you, he's looking for pyramids. He's looking for tombs. He's not going to find any Super Bowl trophies there. I'll promise you that. Scott Thompson of Fox
Aaron,
News.
you going to let him talk like this about your boy?
Come on,
really?
man. God.
I'm just going to be quiet for now.
I think the last time the Jets won, the Egyptians were in rule. Aaron Rodgers
Leave him alone.
Wow, he got you on that one, though.
King Tut. Aaron Rodgers missed the New York Jets mandatory minicamp. Colin Cowherd, that legend, and Julian Edelman discuss how this looks for the Jets and their outlook on this season. The New York Jets had a glaring hole in their mandatory minicamp roster as quarterback Aaron Rodgers was not present before the team broke for this summer rest period to training camp. Jets head coach Robert Saleh noted that Rodgers let the team know that he was not going to make it to minicamp, but still, it went down as an unexcused absence. Well, according to SNY TV, that absence was a pre-planned trip to Egypt. SNY added that Rodgers had planned the trip during his Achilles injury recovery. Now he feels like a real heel. The report goes on to say the Jets were made aware of Rodgers' trip when minicamp dates were announced for June 11th and 12th. However, despite the unexcused absence, SNY reported the Jets are not concerned that this will impact Rodgers heading into camp. I don't know, Big D. I mean, there's a hell of a lot more things important on this show and in this world, but Aaron Rodgers, I don't know, Aaron. It looks like could be trouble in paradise. Is he ready to get going?
They'll be just fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay, no problem. We'll see. But anyway, talk about Egyptian ruins. That could be the Jets' forecast for the season. And that's a wrap in sports. King Tut, back to you.
He called you King Tut.
King Tut.
Wow, that's funny.
All right.
All right, very good. Slick Sports is brought to you by
Common.
Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Use our code LFS6B. Hey, we're about 60 days away from the first odds makers. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Wow.
I can't wait. I know.
I mean,
Camp
July
breaks the end of
2nd,
this
right?
month.
September,
Yeah.
first week. I mean,
July 25th,
60
Cowboys in camp.
60 whatever days. 60
Talk about
plus days.
ruins.
Yeah, well, that's true.
70 days from the first odds makers.
Yeah. I can't wait. We love the odds makers. Aaron, got to get ready.
We got to do a better job of keeping the records and doing some graphics this year so we can really have a winner.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I smoked everybody last year.
What, maybe we should well, you did have a phenomenal
I had a good year last
year.
year.
Yeah, you did.
I got lucky.
We have to get I think a guest picker every week. You know how ESPN does
yeah.
They do a guest picker on the college or the college.
Tonight's guest picker for the NCAA final football game, Harry Oates. Who do you like, Harry? I like the Yankees.
And we should have a guest picker every week to see who beat. If anyone can beat you too.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
We can get maybe somebody from.
We should probably start lining those up now, though. Would be
some of the other.
You would think, but that would mean you have to plan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're not too good at that.
Yeah, no, we're not too good at that. Yeah. All right, 25 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. There's no time to do news here, so we'll do news when we get back. Well, so as I said yesterday, it's going to be interesting to see who comes out against Biden and who doesn't. And one of the people who is, I would say, is responsible for getting Biden to the nomination last time around, because when he got to South Carolina, I mean, he was totally...
He looked like he did last Thursday.
I mean, the bus, I can remember Harry telling me the bus was breaking down. They had no gas. Yeah, it basically looked like he did last Thursday night. I mean, he was just out on his feet with no money and no campaign. He had gotten trashed in the debates and everything else. Kamala was already out by then. This duo, what a magical team they are. Well, James Clyburn in South Carolina has... I wouldn't say stuck the knife completely in the back today, but made it clear that he's way more interested in saving Kamala Harris's future than he is Joe Biden's. I'll show you the clip when we get back.
One kid's.
Where'd they go after?
They went to the one girl's house.
Well, they only have a graduating class of like 60.
Oh, is it that
90.
small?
Oh, 90. Excuse me.
Still,
90.
It's
What
pretty
school?
small.
Shh, don't tell.
That is real.
90.
They went to this one kid's house.
I had more kids in my homeroom.
They got picked. They got picked up at 2 a.m. Like that house had 17 bathrooms.
Oh, my God. Where was this? Head of the harbor? Wow, excuse me.
Oh, up in Belterre, yeah.
Good Lord. Somebody's father?
Partners in Hotels, thank you very much. On YouTube, my eye is I'm going actually tomorrow. Might be laser number 3. I don't know what kind of shape I'll be in tomorrow night if they do that. I may have to wear sunglasses.
Lasers.
Hey,
my eye is so sensitive after these damn
Daddy
lasers.
T in the Get It chat has a suggestion. Damon, give away teas for people who register friends, family, etc. to vote. You'll be giving out like truckloads, hopefully.
Well, I like to try to help Mike Lindell, so I like to always combine it with something with them.
Yeah.
Charles Parker on Facebook, we're doing good. How you doing? Harry careening off the highway? Yes, maybe.
Absolutely. Harry on the guardrails. Black Guns 25. Eric, how was Indianapolis? Well, I didn't go to Indianapolis.
That's okay.
That's
Tell them
okay.
it was great.
It was racy.
Damon, what is your take on DJT delaying his VP pick? I didn't hear anything officially that he's delaying it. Did he say something today that he's delaying it?
That I heard.
Oh. What was that? Who's
I don't know.
Don't they normally just announce? I think that's what
I mean, it certainly will be before the convention because he has to speak, or he or she would have to speak, I would think.
Biden's not showing up to that.
Jeremy,
What, the election?
Damon, my mom had the same bubble in the eye. Not fun. Nope, not fun.
He's not running.
Not the worst thing in the world, but it's just not fun that this part, like dealing with it, trying to see. Can't, especially mine because it's in the bottom half, so everything. I mean, you don't realize how many things you do down. Open a drawer to pick. Just got no chance.
Yep. That's why you're okay driving, because you're not really looking down. You're looking straight ahead.
Anything in nose or above,
Yeah.
I'm good. But down is just a disaster.
Man.
All right, live from Studio 6B, 30 minutes past the hour on a Tuesday night. Real America's Voice. Glad you're in. Slick's going to do some sports before the end of hour one. He just did a little bit. Delgado's going to do some news here in a second. Aaron and Fran holding it down. Harry on the highway. David Zier. We expect to be joining us at some point here tonight as they usher in enough food for, 100 people when it's going to be the 8 of us. But we'll see.
Right.
They may bring some here to the studio, but I don't know.
We have to sample on set.
Yeah, so James Clyburn, as I've said, is probably the reason Biden actually made it out of South Carolina back in 2020. Without him, I don't think he would have been over, most likely. Clyburn was on today with Sleepy Eyes, Andrea Mitchell, who see a clip of her almost falling asleep the other day on air.
No.
In the 4 box.
Are you serious?
Had 4 people up in the box like we have. And I mean, I don't know if she was drunk or she was just, I don't know what. She was almost falling asleep.
We've done that, no?
It's that whole, I think it's they're just drinking excessively now that they have to deal with. Everybody knows what we've known for the last few years is that Joe Biden has been in cognitive decline, and they've been trying to hide it, cover it up, dismiss it out of hand, and now they have to deal with it, and they don't know how. Because
never mind, by the way, never mind years. How about just we've gone from creative editing, Republican edits, Republican fake, deep fake edits. Remember all this talk just 2 weeks ago?
Yep.
Corinne Jean-Pierre in the press briefing room telling Republicans are editing this and deep fakes and fake edits and all. I mean, this was 2 weeks ago. And now all of a sudden, Jake Tapper's out. Oh, it's a problem. Done. Nancy Pelosi. And here's James Clyburn on with Andrea Mitchell today. Maybe not. Do we have Andrea Mitchell here on my... There we go. Nope.
If there...
Yep. Okay. One more time.
How would you feel if there is a decision for him to step down, if he decides that, and he has to decide that? Or if the party pressures him to do that, how would you feel if they worked around and tried to go around Kamala Harris because of her lack of high poll numbers and popularity and broadly based? Do you think it's hers to have if it is not his?
I will support her if he were to step aside. But I want to support her going forward at some time in the future. I want this ticket to continue to be Biden-Harris, and then we'll see what happens after the next election. No, this party should not in any way do anything to work around Ms. Harris. We should do everything we can to bolster her, whether it's in second place or at the top of the ticket.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, he realizes that Joe's on the way out. I think that's probably the nicest way to put it that they can think of right now, at least for Clyburn.
All right, 33 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's do some news. News is brought to you by our friends at 7Cells, 7Cells.com. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. 10% off whatever you put in your cart. Rick Delgado, what's going on?
All right, well, a bunch of stories breaking, so much going on. Hunter Biden is now, I don't know if you've heard this, you've probably seen it, Hunter Biden joining the White House staff for meetings.
Yeah. You got to have somebody with their head on straight in these places.
And why
you can't just have a bunch of degenerates.
That's true,
and why not Hunter? He is the smartest man that President Biden knows, so why not have his input into the meetings, according to this story. President Biden's son has joined the meetings with the president and his close staff at the White House following a Biden family meeting at Camp David on Sunday. Oh, he went back to camp again. Hunter Biden has joined the president in these meetings with top aides, closely advising his father and popping into meetings and phone calls. Popping in. Like he's got the run of the place So he's walking around. He's popping in. Let me see what this going on over here. Let me pop my head over here. Let me jump on a phone call.
You can see what those look like.
Exactly. Here is
Stay in, Dad. Stay in.
Here is cut number 13. Here's a news report confirming what we've been hearing about cut number 13.
Breaking news. We're now learning that Hunter Biden is attending some of the president's meetings at the White House,
staying
close to his father post-debate. NBC's Monica Alba is reporting from Washington, D.C. What more can you tell us, Monica?
Well, these are new details coming into our team, Chris, along with my colleagues, Kristen Welker, Mike Memley, and Sarah Fitzpatrick. We have learned from sources familiar with the situation at the White House that Hunter Biden has been by his father's side ever since they were at Camp David this weekend as a family, where they had some discussions about the president's potential path forward here and his reelection campaign, and that since he returned from Camp David last evening with his father, we understand that Hunter Biden has even joined some meetings and conversations that have taken place between the president and some of his most senior advisors and senior staff. And while we should note that it's not unusual for Hunter Biden to be at the White House, to be in the residence, to be attending certain White House events, which we have certainly seen time and time again over the last 3.5 years, where we have seen photos of him and where he has appeared in public, it is unusual, according to the people we spoke with, for him to be participating at this level and to have the sort of regularity of some of these contacts and conversations with senior staff. We understand, again, since returning yesterday from Camp David, where they were more huddled as a family, to now as the president has resumed some of his more traditional meetings at the White House with those key advisors.
Yeah, so there you have it. From
all of whom they've thrown under the bus.
Yeah.
All the advisors, by the way.
A stunning report coming from MSNBC of all places. The White House told sources at NBC the president's sudden presence at meeting has caused confusion for some White House staff, with the reaction being, what the hell is happening here? Hunter Biden also is reported, of course, to be one of the biggest advocates for his father staying in the race, with some critics arguing that the president using his son as his top advisor is now becoming also a conflict of interest. Because remember,
I wonder why
he's just been convicted.
I wonder why Hunter would want Dad to stay in the race.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that pardon power is looking pretty good.
Maybe a little bit, maybe. Anyhow,
Pardon me.
No, Dad, please.
Please stay there.
Speaking of trials, the judge in Donald Trump's hush money trial has delayed sentencing.
Oh, yes, he has.
Big ruling today following the Supreme Court immunity ruling. That coming out of New York as the judge overseeing the trial approved the delay of the former president's sentencing after his lawyers asked for more time to argue that the Supreme Court immunity decision calls for a new trial. The sentencing hearing, previously scheduled for July 11th, will now take place on September 18th at the earliest, according to a letter posted on the court's docket. Delay guarantees Trump will not be sentenced until after he's formally nominated for president by the RNC at the convention, which begins July 15th, and sentencing will happen less than 2 months before the presidential election.
Yeah.
Trump's team moved quickly to leverage the Supreme Court's ruling on Monday, sending a letter to Merchan asking to brief him on how it impacts the felony conviction on 34 counts. In the letter Tuesday, prosecutors said they were not opposed to delaying the hearing, though they signaled they believe the effort is a toss. The verdict is without merit. So we'll see what happens with that.
And our friend Josh Hammer, friend of the show, from opinion writer at Newsweek, and the Josh Hammer Show, who I love, is great, put out a tweet today I happened to notice because I didn't read the filing, but he said it's one of the finest piece of legal works he's seen come out of the Trump team. Whatever they filed today to get this, he said it's really, really well done. And this Supreme Court decision has clearly thrown a huge wrench into this whole deal. And I saw Will Scharf on with Caitlin Collins, and he again is just talk about raising the bar on your team, man. When they brought him on, he makes a compelling case, and it's not a big surprise, but he makes a compelling case that the Supreme Court has opened the door and basically said, well, now with this ruling, they're going to go back and say, well, given this, all this evidence, this has all got to go.
All the testimony that
all
was
out.
brought in.
All out. And I mean, In one breath, I say, I know who we're fighting, how dirty these people are. In the next breath, I'm now going to say, when I saw the new date being September, whatever, I'm thinking to myself, this is literally now a month. You're talking 60 days before the election. And now they're going to tell us that they're going to sentence him then? I'm starting to have my doubts, and I'm starting to wonder if Alvin Bragg all of a sudden today after this ruling is like, oh yeah, we're not going to, we don't have a problem with them appealing this judge, and then the judge being the final say here, going, oh yeah, we'll delay it. I think they're all thinking. I think they're all slowly turning into CYA mode.
Yeah. Of
their own political careers and careers.
Well, I think of their own
thinking. We're going to end up on this is a Harry Reid deal with the nuclear option. This is shaping up to be nuclear on our end. We're going to end up on the wrong side of our own lawfare here.
Yeah, they're going to end up at the defendant's table.
Yeah.
And I think they see that coming down the pike.
That's exactly my point. All of a sudden, Alvin Bragg today says, oh, yeah, no, we don't have any problems with it. The judge, oh, yeah, sure. Okay, we'll delay it. They all got to be thinking, oh.
Yeah.
This new Supreme Court ruling has thrown a huge wrench into everybody's plans. And they're thinking to themselves, well, man, how long until January 20th?
Yeah. How long? How can I stay out of jail?
Because what happens on the 21st? I'll tell you what happens. Brett Tolman or whoever's sitting in the AG's office is going to be opening some investigations.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going to happen.
We hope.
Well, we hope.
We hope. So, last bit of news here from the I Did Not Kill Myself edition of the news. That's right. Your favorite pedo and mine, Jeffrey Epstein, is back in the news. Coming out of Florida, prosecutors knew the late millionaire and financier Jeffrey Epstein sexually assaulted teenage girls 2 years before they cut a plea deal that has long been criticized as too lenient and missed the opportunity to imprison him a decade earlier, according to transcripts released yesterday. The 2006 grand jury investigation was the first time by many of the law enforcement over the past 2 decades into Epstein's rape and sex trafficking of teenagers and how his ties to the rich and powerful seem to have allowed him to avoid prison or serve his jail term for over a decade. Investigations uncovered Epstein's close ties to, you guessed it, former President Bill Clinton and Britain's own Prince Andrew, as well as a once friendly relationship with the former President Donald Trump, and numerous others of wealth and influence have denied doing anything criminal or improper as has been charged. Circuit Court Judge Luis Delgado, same name. Weird to hear. Release of approximately 150 pages yesterday came as a surprise since there was a scheduled hearing next week over unsealing the graphic testimony. Governor Ron DeSantis, of course, rode to the rescue, signed the bill in February, allowing the release on Monday or any time thereafter that Delgado ordered. Florida grand jury transcripts are usually kept secret forever, but the bill created an exception for cases like Epstein's. And, of course, the transcripts show the grand jury heard testimony that Epstein, who was in his 40s, raped teenage girls as young as 14 at his Palm Beach mansion, and the teenagers testified and told detectives they were paid cash or rented cars if they found more girls. So it gets more disgusting and more graphic as you read along. But there you have it.
All right, more sports news all coming up live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this.
What's
up, stud?
I'm listening to the recipe. Zira is telling us what he has. Sounds like all seafood. I'll have to stop at Burger Queen on the way over there.
See what they got.
We'll see. All right. Hey, everybody. Here I am. Hello. I'm here. The top banana on the show. No, I'm kidding. But the guys are all, they got a sniff of what Zier brought in, so it smells like a trattoria in Tuscany over here with all this food. But, yeah, we'll see what happens with that, too. Big party tonight. Big D's going to live stream from Harry's pool. Harry's going to do a belly flop. It's going to be good stuff. So what can I tell you? This is the best I got right now. I'm trying to work this over here as these guys are chowing down over there. They leave me here. So yeah, we'll see what happens. It's a good day for President Trump. Looks like things are moving his way in New York. I'm glad to see that. We'll see if that sticks. I hope it does. And hold off on any of this nonsense sentencing. And let's get on with this campaign and this election. Let's drive this thing home. There's no question we got to get him back in office. I mean, I'm preaching to the choir here. It's a joke. But honestly, we've really got to tell our friends, vote with your checkbooks and vote with your brain. That's another good one. Checkbooks and brain. That usually works, the two together. You balance those two, and you have a good life. So that's what you have to do. And what else do I have? Well, I got a little sports coming up. We got a couple other stories. We're going to start focusing a little bit on Olympics. Of course, Wimbledon. I like the fact that they're sticking with ball boys and ball girls, and not only the other woke nonsense that they usually try to spin in Paris, and of course here in woke New York City with the U.S. Open that comes later in September. So I'm glad to see they're sticking with that. And that's about all I got. I guess the boys will be back on in about 50 seconds. They're going to cut my mic anyway because we're going to go back to the lead. Hey, boys, 50 seconds. Let's go here. They were chowing down. I think Delgado's having a pancetta and clam casino. And let's see. Damon's probably having a 6-foot hero. We got 38 seconds. I'm rambling on. We completely dropped all the chats. Nobody's listening anymore. Anyway, back to you in a few minutes. In 2 minutes. Back to you in 30 seconds.
Why?
Okay. Ooh.
Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice, on a Tuesday night. As you can tell, Damon's still eating. David Zier got here with trays
That's been going
of
on
food.
since he was born. What are you talking about?
Trays of food that he made at home. And, Damon's enjoying all of it. Save some for us, buddy. Anyhow. David Zier is here, like I mentioned. We'll do some stuff with him in just a little bit. But right now, let's do some sports with Slick Rick. Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com. Use our code LFS6B at checkout and save yourself a ton of money on some great products. Mike Lindell's MyPillow.com. Slick Rick, what do you got, my friend?
Before I get to sports, I have a question for the great David. I never met a steak I couldn't Zier here. Mr. Zier, did we make anything besides seafood?
I made baby lamb chops with fresh rosemary and Dijon mustard.
Did you bring the mint jelly?
Cracked pepper and garlic. No mint jelly.
Oh,
I'm
man.
Italian. Were you kidding me? Okay. And, I made all kinds of stuff. I made lobster and scallop
right, that's
and
seafood.
pancetta. Top neck clams just caught in Connecticut the other day.
Nice.
With homemade chicken stock and everything in there. Fresh herbs, white wine. And then I made lump crab cakes, Maryland lump crab.
Wow, okay, good.
And what else did I make in there? Oh, pancetta and sausage.
Those crab cakes
mushrooms.
weren't from Biden's debate, were they?
U-15
okay.
Pacific white shrimps. Really nice big jumbos. And so
all right,
go to town.
Okay. So let's get to sports right now. We got, TMZ Sports reporting Dick Vitale removes cancerous lymph node, staying positive in the hospital. Dick Vitale just underwent surgery to remove a cancerous lymph node, but in true Dickie V fashion, he's remaining positive about everything. The famous college basketball announcer revealed last week that he was diagnosed with the disease after tests showed a mass in his neck was malignant. On Tuesday, docs cut it out of him with the hopes of stopping its spread, and in a post on his X page, he told followers he's optimistic about his progress. Vitale's 85. shared a pic of him in a hospital bed with 2 thumbs up. In the caption, he wrote, his surgeon was pleased with what took place on the operating table. He said docs were now awaiting further testing to see where he goes from here. Vitale added a big thank you to all of his family and friends for all their thoughts and prayers. So, of course, we wish him well as well. He's one of the greatest to ever do it in college basketball. I mean, nobody, hands down. So we wish him well. 85, when the cancer comes back, it's hard enough at that age. You're dealing with, obviously, probably a suppressed immune system, and he's got a lot to battle. But, he's a hell of a fighter. I love his energy. I hope I have that energy when I'm 85. God bless him. And some sad news for Browns fans, besides the fact that they got another football season coming up on the calendar. Browns mascot Swagger Jr. dead at 5. The Cleveland Browns are dealing with a heartbreaking loss on Tuesday. The team's live mascot, Swagger Jr., has passed away. He was just 5 years old. The team posted a touching message in the Bull Mastiff's honor minutes ago saying, we are sad to announce the passing of our beloved mascot, SJ. We are so grateful for his many years of loyal support and cherish all of the wonderful memories he helped create for fans, young and old. SJ was the son of the Browns' first live mascot, Swagger, who held the position from 2014 to 2019. Swagger passed away in 2020 with a battle with cancer. SJ handled game day duties until his passing. Details around his death, and they were not released. The team had not announced whether it plans to keep the recent tradition alive and enlist another dog for the job, or if it will choose to discontinue it altogether. So sad news there. We know what it's like to lose a pet. I mean, I certainly went through it earlier last month. It was very devastating to my family and a lot of his followers, and I feel bad for the Browns fans, the Dogs, who actually had a pretty good defense last year and made a little noise there. They got into the playoffs, but then they got knocked out. So we'll see. Maybe there'll be something in Ohio there to cheer about for the Browns fans and the dog pound, if you will. So sad story, but adorable dog. And, well, we wish the Browns fans well. I'm sure they'll probably bring out another dog. They'll keep that tradition going. It's good stuff. And hopefully it'll bring some good luck and bring some swagger. They sure need it. So that's a wrap in sports, Rick. Back to you.
All right. Well, thank you, Slick. And, of course, we're talking about the debate the other night and all the things that are going wrong with this president. I came across this today. I don't know if you guys saw this. Kind of a creepy moment, but I think we've moments like this we've kind of come to expect from the current resident of the White House, talking about Joe Biden, of course. I'm not sure where this particular event was going on, but it was an event where Joe Biden is meeting and shaking hands. And just watch what happens here is in cut number 11 as Joe gets all rubby with one guy, a grown man, not a kid. He's not sniffing kids in this one, which is odd. But watch this. This is very strange. Check it out for yourself. Just rubbing the guy's arm.
What is going on?
Even so, the guy takes his other hand like, wait, what's going on here? Whoa. I don't know. That was weird. Is that not weird? Am I the only one?
That's pretty weird.
Creeped out by that?
Creepy.
Anyhow, switching gears over to the Trump campaign. Of course, President Trump continues on the offensive, releasing statements about policies and things he intends to do when he does make it back into office, if he does win the presidency. Here is cut number 9. Here's Donald Trump releasing a statement on his intention of getting to the bottom of what's going on when it comes to Big Pharma. Here's cut number 9. Check this out.
In recent decades, there has been an unexplained and alarming growth in the prevalence of chronic illnesses and health problems, especially in children. We've seen a stunning rise in autism, autoimmune disorders, obesity, infertility, serious allergies, and respiratory challenges. It's time to ask, what is going on? Is it the food that they eat, the environment that we live in, the overprescription of certain medications? Is it the toxins and chemicals that are present in our homes? Every year we spend hundreds of billions of dollars to treat these chronic problems rather than looking at what is causing them in the first place. Too often our public health establishment is too close to Big Pharma. They make a lot of money, Big Pharma, big corporations and other special interests, and does not want to ask the tough questions about what is happening to our children's health. If Big Pharma defrauds American patients and taxpayers or puts profits above people, They must be investigated and held accountable. When I'm back in the White House, I will establish a special presidential commission of independent minds who are not bought and paid for by Big Pharma, and I will charge them with investigating what is causing the decades-long increase in chronic illnesses. I understand Big Pharma, I believe, better than anybody else. I know where they're coming from. And then I will ask them to publish recommendations for how every American child can have a safe and healthy childhood. This is a conversation that is long overdue, and it's a conversation that American families deserve. American families must have this conversation, and they must have a leader, a president, who can do something about this problem. And I will do that. Thank you.
Yeah. So there you have it. The latest release from President Trump regarding some policy ideas he has moving forward.
The problem with that, though, is that that's like going to the arsonist and asking him about how to quench the fire. You're going to go to the drug companies and have a conversation with them about how we can make our kids healthier? Or, I mean, they're the problem. How do you go to them? I mean, I know he doesn't want to acknowledge these vaccines, but this mRNA technology that they used in this vaccine, which has caused millions of people around the world problems, they're going to take and start making other vaccines.
Yeah.
So how do you go to the arsonists and say, we really need to come up with a way to have all the, not have these fire? Well, they're the ones doing it.
Well, I think that's why he says he's putting together this panel, which hopefully will be an opportunity to see what RFK Jr. can do. You never know.
All right, live from Studio 6B, Hour 2 coming up. David Zier in the house. Slick Rick, more sports, all coming up. Delgado with news when we get back.
Yeah, those baked clams are off the hook, right?
I don't even know what to say about what is going on out in the kitchen in the studio with David Zier did. There's no words. Oh my God.
That's TLC. I mean, Damon, TLC.
OMG. Did we get what did you do? A video or a picture, Aaron? Are we going to get that in there? Okay. Damon is not listening to what Trump said.
You know why, Damon?
Okay, maybe not.
Because you never get a good baked clam anywhere. They're always like, okay.
What's in those?
That is that is sea scallops just caught. That is lobster, 2 pounds of lobster, claws and knuckles. That is top neck clams, 100 top neck clams that I steamed open and carved out and cut up the clams. That is lemon juice. That is white wine. That's pancetta. That's hardwood smoked bacon.
It is ridiculous.
Is, 3 types of peppers, and the crab cakes are lump crab with, with Old Bay, and those are really good with the Worcestershire and Tabasco, sriracha, and cilantro. Fresh
Someone
cilantro.
said, "Did you get the recipes from Woody's?"
Not quite.
I mean, look at those things. I mean, is that the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen? Look at the size of that.
Yeah. I think there's 2 pounds of lobster in each one.
Yeah. You never get like a baked clam with a lot of good stuff in it,
Damon is half listening. Oh, here come all of the...
That's why I keep them together, so you could fit them, you can pack them in.
Like a sandwich.
All the defenders of the vaccine now.
It's a manwich.
No, I think they're talking about, because he didn't say he was going to rely on the...
Did he say he's going to go have didn't he say he's going to have to...
I think he says that's
a conversation that parents need to have? He's going to have it with them. That's what I
I
said.
don't think that's what he said. Not with the
Okay.
I mean, I could be wrong. That's not what I heard.
Maybe I misunderstood it.
Really quick, what's the big pharma issue? I didn't hear all of it.
Well, he wants to start looking into why everybody's so unhealthy. Autism rate.
Yeah, well, Hour 2 live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night. Slick Rick in the house, going to do some sports. Yellow, Aaron Fran holding it down. Delgado's got news. David Zier in the house. After cooking for 100, is now here with a spread out there in the kitchen that he brought in that is unexplainable.
Wow.
Unexplainable.
I never thought I'd be doing mushrooms on this show, but man, those stuffed mushrooms are good.
I mean, I said to Harry, I said, how many, are there other studios coming? Are there other shows coming? I mean, look at this. Let's just take a look at what's going on in the kitchen right now. This is David. This is David Zier.
I go to the diner.
I mean,
there's no diner.
What is going on? This is
lobster and scallop. U15 shrimp.
He had this in his he had this in his trunk.
I did.
He just drives around with this stuff.
I did. I have a cooler bigger than a Prius in the back of my
God,
car.
Unbelievable.
But
so that's what's out in the kitchen.
I cooked them in Harry's oven, though. We went to Harry's home and belted them out.
Segment sponsored by Old Bay Seasoning, right?
Yeah. And fresh mozzarella.
Man, oh man.
I don't know,
shrimp, too. What does it say? U15 shrimp?
Yeah, Pacific Whites.
Delgado's going to stay out late tonight now.
Yeah, I might stay here at 10:15. What, are you kidding me?
Yeah, people in the chat are like, holy cow, David, that looks amazing.
Unbelievable.
And it is amazing. Every one of them is amazing.
Yeah, well, I always said, Damon, you never go anywhere and get a good baked clam. They're always they're all breadcrumbs and oil. These are scallops and lobster and pancetta and applewood smoked bacon, hardwood smoked bacon, and 100 top neck clams went in there, just harvested the other day in Connecticut, came into Restaurant Depot today.
He was actually in the Long Island Sound with his pants rolled up, trying to get those
better
clams
than my
with
pants
his toes.
pulled down
and jacket and tie.
And a tie.
Yeah. Unbelievable. So a couple things to get to here in hour 2. We'll do news and sports. There was big I don't know. I don't want to. Was it a Knives Out kind of article? I think so. In Politico, which you wouldn't expect in Politico about Biden. But it's kind of caught fire everywhere. The New York Post has a different version on it, and the American Thinker has a different version on it by Monica Showalter. And the overall theme is, though, that now the inside staff of the White House is afraid, basically, of Biden because it's the old "get off my lawn" guy.
Yeah,
to the nth degree.
Well, there's always been rumors of him being just a nasty, mean,
He's a nasty
guy.
old fool. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
But now now he's turning it on the people he needs the most, the people that are closest to him. And of course, because, they were his last line of defense to the truth coming out.
Yeah. So in this story in Politico, there's a couple things about the day-to-day happenings in the White House and why the staff is, let's just say at best nervous to even be around the president or give him any kind of dose of reality. When Politico describes what's happening in the day-to-day presidency, they say this, quote, during meetings with aides who are putting together formal briefings that they deliver to Biden, some senior officials have at times gone to great lengths to curate the information being presented in an effort to avoid provoking a negative reaction. Quote, it's like you can't include that because that will set him off. Or, quote, put that in, he likes things like that, said one senior administration official. It's a Rorschach test, not a briefing. because he is not a pleasant person to be around when he's being briefed. It's very difficult. And people are basically scared SH-less of him. You know what I mean? This is not the only aspect of the Politico story. Alex Thompson points out on Twitter that he too was getting this kind of information from sources in a piece that he wrote for Axios late last year. In public, President Biden likes to whisper to make a point. In private, though, he's prone to screaming. Behind closed doors, Biden has such a quick trigger temper that some aides try to avoid meeting alone with him. Some take a colleague almost as a shield against a solo blast. The president's own admissions include, gee, damn it, how the F don't you know this? Don't effing bull crap me. Get the F out of here. Are usual things you hear. According to current and former Biden aides who have witnessed and been on the receiving end of such outbursts. The private eruptions paint a more complicated picture of Biden as a manager and president than his carefully cultivated image as a kind uncle who loves aviator sunglasses and ice cream. Well, if you follow Joe Biden for his career, know anything about him, or even follow him on the campaign trail in 2020, you can go back and think about, remember the, hey, Fats, you want to do a push-up thing? He said to that one guy, the worker in someplace, he called the guy Fats.
Yep.
I'll take him out behind the shed. And you can go through many things. Joe Biden is a nasty old racist
white man.
Just a nasty old fool. It's the same guy who sat up there with Clarence Thomas and tried to tell him, me and you know, it goes over everybody else's head, but me and you know, talking about natural law. And of course, Clarence Thomas says, I really have no idea what the hell he was even talking about.
Even his dogs are miserable.
Yeah.
Biden's aides think the president would be better off occasionally displaying his temper in public as a way to assure voter concerns that the 80-year-old president is not disengaged and too old for office. Seriously, though, the guy seems out of control, and the natural response is to avoid giving him hard facts inside the White House about really anything to avoid his irrational rage. Rages of this kind are characteristic of some kinds of mental deterioration. Well, we know that's happening. According to the UK Alzheimer's Society, noted because some outside observers think Biden shows signs of this particular condition, as a person's dementia progresses, they may sometimes behave in ways that are physically or verbally aggressive.
Yeah.
Aggressive behavior may be verbal, for example, swearing, screaming, shouting, or making threats. Physical, for example, hitting, pinching, scratching, hair pulling, biting, throwing things, rubbing people's arms so he doesn't know. Some people assume, I threw that part in, some people assume that aggressive behavior is a symptom of dementia itself. This can be true, but it's more likely that there is another cause. It's important to see beyond the behavior and think about what may be causing it, reasons for the person's behavior. And so they go through this whole list. But we know Biden suffers from this. It's been clear to everybody for 3.5 years.
My mother used to run a nursing home about 45 years ago, and Adam Weiss, a good friend, used to work in one when he was a teenager. And they both say that people who have dementia and others, if you touch them or nudge them, they can get violent.
Yeah.
They get very irritable.
Yeah, I used to service nursing homes when they had a unit there.
Like they're stunned
dementia.
or something.
Yeah, they can get very violent. You got to be very careful.
And they wrap up this Political article by saying, the voting public has a right to demand a president of sound mind and body. While I don't doubt that Biden and his greedy family entourage will try to continue to cling to power all throughout the election, voters know it's up to them to make a decision if the Bidens won't. The reports coming out suggest a headless country without a functional leader, and that's exactly what we have. That's exactly what we have. So Politico's got the knives out too, Delgado.
Yeah, not only that, you know who else has the knives out? And this article I just found surprised me as well. Jake Tapper, believe it or not.
I said that before, yeah.
Let's see. According to this one report from Fox News, Biden's candidacy remains under threat because of top Democratic donors. They're getting cold feet, which, again, the headline tells you, I guess the people don't really have any power. It's the people who donate the money that have the power. But according to this, Jake Tapper is actually being vocal about what he saw happen in the debate and is making it known, which is kind of interesting. Top aides, according to this, of course, shielded Biden from his staff. So you've got all these stories coming out about the White House and what's going on behind the scenes. It kind of gives you a different view of the kindly old, he's just trying to get everybody together. No, not really. He doesn't care about anybody else but himself. Same for his wife, because she's even worse. She's unelected, and now she's doing the power grab. So what does that have to tell you?
So one of Biden's main guys is Mitch Landrieu, I think it's pronounced, and he was on with Anderson Cooper tonight. And CNN, more than anyone else I've seen so far, continues to hammer, like you just said with the Jake Tapper and some of their other shows. Scott Jennings has had some really good spots on there. Van Jones, obviously, we saw on the debate night have his meltdown. So Mitch Landrieu went on with Anderson Cooper tonight, and Anderson asked him about this, and here was old Mitch.
It is now allowed the president to stand above the law, and Joe Biden's going to stand in the middle of that. He's going to build a better and stronger economy. I get all so that people can continue to work hard.
Listen, I get all that. You're making a good case.
You all keep dismissing.
No, because 72% of voters said that Biden lacks the mental. 72% of voters said Biden lacks the mental health for the presidency after the debate. That's up from 65% before the debate and 36% in June of 2020. That's obviously, I would think, a huge concern for you.
Anderson, there's no question that it's a huge concern. It is.
Yeah. So I mean,
but I don't want to talk about it.
But he doesn't want to talk about it. Yeah. They don't want to talk about it. And the calls continue to grow.
Yeah, this coming from, who is it? The former New York Times editor accusing the White House of a massive cover-up when it comes to Joe Biden's decline. Former editor, let me see the name, Jill Abramson wrote in an op-ed, basically the Biden White House clearly succeeded in a massive cover-up of the degree of the president's feebleness and a serious physical decline, which may be simply the result of old age. She added, shame on the White House press corps for not having to pierce the veil of secrecy surrounding the president. That's something we've talked about for a long time, how they never ask questions. Or if they ask a question, it gets blown off, they don't stay on it and say, you didn't answer my question. What is going on with this? We need an answer. They never do it. They always give DEI KJP the pass and let her just say, well, we don't have any information on that. You're supposed to. That's your job. You got one job. Tell us what's going on. Abrams, who was the executive of the New York Times from 2011 to 2014, said it is laughable and immoral for Democrats to blame the press now for overreacting to the reality, since it was them who actually enabled this reality. She went on to say the first duty is to hold officials accountable and poke through the White House smokescreens and find out the truth. So, again, that's coming from the former editor of the New York Times in regards to what we saw last week at the debate and what we've been seeing for the last couple of years, to be honest.
Yep. I'll sound like the blues, but I don't think it's time to do any reads, but it is time to take a break. When we come back, I'll do the blues.
Oh, sound like the chews on the break,
time
right?
to eat. Yeah, sound like the chews with David Zier's food here. All right, 13 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. We're back. Right after this, if you're in the chat, stay with us.
Come on.
Hey, everybody in Facebook. I can't chat with you because the Azerbaijani mafia has taken over my Facebook and my Instagram account. So just want to give everyone a shout out. Hello, everyone in YouTube Live. Good evening, Buzzard of 207. Hello, Moon Pie, Ruby, everybody. Sue, AZ Mikey. Hey. Are we live in Getter?
No, they're not taking us live in the breaks.
Okay. Is that permanent or?
I don't have no control over that.
Mm-hmm.
That's at the Wimbledon
That's
Network.
still a lot.
Hey, Damon, you have a read here?
I know.
And you have a guest at 9:30.
I have a guest at 9:30?
Yes, you do.
Who's the guest?
Andy Mangione.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I got you cake, the little cakes. Oh. She's talking to Adam's dog.
Graduation.
I need one more of them crab cakes there. Another.
Did you try crab cake?
I've had two so.
They're yummy, right?
Yeah.
What do we got here? Wellness company. And then Andy Mangione. Wellness. All righty. Delgado knows crab cakes.
Krabby Patties.
David Zier's food is amazing.
My third place.
I was going to say, Delgado's eating like he's going to the chair.
Yeah.
Somebody said you need to wear more hats and suntan lotion. I said my head is too big for some hats.
You think yours is too big?
What do you mean, the little cakes?
Hit the top.
Hit
the top of the clams with the weed torch.
Little yin and yang, a little sweet and savory.
Yeah, they call it a clam bake.
Good.
How about a David Zier cooking show for the weekend?
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Boiling point.
That would be something.
Boiling point. Boiling. Well, you know, everybody knows the next medical crisis is just around the corner, whether it comes in the form of a pandemic or something much more mundane like a tick bite. You and your family need to be prepared. And that's, of course, where the Wellness Company comes in. You know the Wellness Company. We have the great doctors like Dr. Peter McCullough on the show all the time. The Wellness Company and their doctors are medical professionals that you can trust, and their new medical emergency kits are the gold standard when it comes to keeping you and your family safe and healthy. Be ready for anything. This medical emergency kit contains an assortment of life-saving medications, including ivermectin and Z-Pak. The medical emergency kit provides also a guidebook to aid in the safe use of all of these life-saving medications, from anthrax to tick bites to COVID and even to a bioweapon. Like the plague, the Wellness Company's medical emergency kit is exactly what you need to have on hand and be prepared. Go to www.twc.health/voice today and order www.twc.health/voice. Use promo code VOICE to save an additional 10%. www.twc.health/voice. All right, let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell and MyPillow. LFS6B is the code to use at checkout. 50, sometimes up to 60% off. Great stuff from Lindell. You have a great savings with our code. Slick, let's do some sports. What's going on?
All right, let's get you caught up on Wimbledon from earlier today. Of course, the Wimbledon tournament underway, round one. This is day two. In the women's, Jessica Pegula from the U.S., number 5. She won in 2 sets over Ashlyn Kruger. Number 4, Arina Rebekina. She also won easily in 2 sets. Number 1, Iga Swiatek, 6-3, 6-4 over Kenin. Men's round one, Alexander Zverev over Carbelis Barna, 6-2, 6-4, 6-2. And a major upset today. Number 122, Francesco Comensana from Argentina beat number 6, Andrei Rublev, he lost his rubles today. That was a huge upset in 4 sets. So moving on. We'll keep you up to date, though, on Wimbledon as the week progresses into the finals. So should be a lot of fun. I enjoy Wimbledon very much, especially the women's. Major League Baseball, get you updated there. The Mets continue to lead the Nationals 5-2 in the top of the 10th. Guess that went into extra innings. Mets looking to close that one out. Cincinnati Reds holding on for dear life over the Yankees 5-3. Bottom of the 7th. I fear the Yankees are going to pull that one out for sure with a 3-run homer in the 9th. Giants over the Braves 3-2. Top of the 7th. Yeah. Hey, listen.
What a fan.
Cincinnati Red realist. Yep, the big dead machine. The Phillies over the Cubs 3-1, top of the 5th. I love the Reds, but they blew their tranny since 1990. They're terrible. The bottom of the 4th, we have the Padres right now blanking the Rangers 6-0. Rays over the Royals 1-0. Bottom 5. Bottom 2nd, the Rockies edging the Brewers 2-1. Earlier tonight, some finals. Red Sox over the Marlins 8-3. Guardians edge the White Sox 7-6. Cardinals down the Pirates 7-4. Orioles and Mariners getting ready for a 9:40 first pitch. Just about 20 minutes now out in Seattle. And the Diamondbacks and Dodgers coming up at 10:10 first pitch there. Tom Brady's back in the news. And Tom Brady reveals the biggest regret of his NFL career. Warner Todd Houston of Breitbart, probably not playing for the Jets, helping them win. Former NFL GOAT quarterback Tom Brady finally seems to be ready to give up dreams of returning to the league and is ready to move on to the broadcast career that has been waiting for him since his first retirement from pro football. But apparently he has one regret. Brady appeared on the Pivot podcast with Ryan Clark, Fred Taylor, and Channing Crowder and said that his hunt for excellence may have had a flaw. What I would have changed was, okay, there's a part of me that still loves, you see these young players. I see like Patrick Mahomes out there at quarterback laughing, having fun, Brady said. I'm like, I used to be like that. What the hell happened to me? I just got too serious, right? He was throwing around those Microsoft laptops there on the sideline, those tablets. Next thing you know, you're overwhelmed because you didn't sleep, you didn't eat right, you were partying. I'm like, I don't really like the way I'm feeling, he added. But Brady seems to feel now that he took it all a bit too seriously. A little late now, Tom. So much, I think the early part of my career was trying to fulfill people's new expectations of me and me still being the 14-year-old boy that wanted to fit in. I was like, I just want to go to the field and play. Brady told the host, now there was all over these things to choose from me. Still, he noted that he hopes to lighten up a bit as he enters into the next phase of his life. He just learned from it and go, okay, now next phase of life, enjoy it a little more, he said. Brady pushed off the beginning of his broadcast career after he retired in 2022, but before long he unretired and spent another year in the NFL before retiring again. I think the Cowboys retired him in that playoff game with Tampa. Throughout these moves, Brady deferred his entry into the broadcast career he agreed to ahead of retiring. Now his first assignment has been revealed, and his first turn in front of the camera, Big D, will be in Cleveland, Ohio, when the Browns take on the Dallas Cowboys in Week 1. The Cowboys, even though they're not in a primetime game, they get the primetime announcer. What is Brady getting? What's probably getting like $20 million a year or something like that? Maybe $25 million a year to do that show. So he'll be hosting the Cowboys game. That'll be 4:30 Sunday, the first week of the season, which I believe is the second Sunday of the month of September.
He's going to be, if not the best broadcaster to ever do football, will be my opinion.
Yeah, he'll go down in the annals of a John Madden type of a broadcast.
I've seen him on a couple shows already talking about things about the game. I mean, you just can't get that perspective from a Joe Buck or, you can get it from obviously Troy.
Yeah.
You can get it from other certain quarterbacks, but
Big D.
But what you can get from him, you just can't get from anybody else.
Brady has broken down
and he's different than Romo.
Yeah.
He's going to be different than Romo.
I hope so. I hate Romo.
Romo's not bad. Romo's pretty
terrible.
good.
He's all right. He's gotten worse.
Yeah.
But I think Brady's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I think so too.
Really likable, and obviously will be able to break down things that are going on before they go on like no one else has ever been able to do.
Well, you hope so.
Yeah.
Because you always have those people in suits who think they know better, who will try and, say, nope, you got to do it this way. And let's hope he has enough stones to push back and say, you want me, this is the deal.
Yeah.
All right,
let's stay away from those roasts for a little while, too. Yeah. I think we'll stay away from that.
All right, let's do, thanks, Slick. We'll do some more sports for a wrap it up. Let's do a little news here while we can with David Zier, the host of Breaking Point, 8 a.m. Saturday mornings. Mr. Zier, what's going on?
Well,
besides your cooking, what's going on?
FDNY boss Laura Kavanaugh rips firefighters. in text to New York AG Letitia James. You know, she appeared there in March. A day later, Kavanaugh, the fire commissioner, has no business in that job. You should resign today. She's basically apologizing for the firefighters being unruly towards Letitia James because of her political persecution of Trump. So then she comes out. Listen to this. She wants to silence political expression for the FDNY. One of my best friends in my whole life died on 9/11 FDNY on the 74th floor in one of the towers. 343 FDNY firefighters died on 9/11. They have every right to tell you to where to go shove it. They have every right. And this is what's going on in New York City. And this is what's going on across the country. It's a very sad day, but there's going to be repercussions from this. Firefighters are not going to take this.
And you have to love it when these bureaucrats get in charge of something like this. And she has what experience does she have of putting on the going out? Does she have any experience?
She worked
Nothing.
I think she worked for the Obama campaign.
What has she ever done?
You know,
nothing.
So
she ever rushed into a no, nothing.
I don't think so.
No, she just runs her big mouth. That's
she's
what she
a longtime Democratic operative. But you know, she has no business being in that position. These guys, my Uncle Phil, who recently passed, was hazmat. They used him because he was tiny. He could slip through bars in apartments and stuff and rescue people. These people put it all on the line every day for us, and they should be able to say whatever the heck they want. I just wanted to play. I don't know if we have time, but when we come back, I got some clips.
We got Andy Mangione coming up from AMAC. He'll join us, and then we'll do some more news with David Zier coming up live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday. In the socials, if you're on YouTube, Facebook, X, Kick, whatever you're on, make sure you like and subscribe, hit the bell notification to get alerted when we go live. If you're on X, make sure you subscribe to our channel. We'll subscribe no matter where you are, but hit the like as well. Maybe Damon can put up a contest for the leftovers for David Zier's feast. That's a good one.
We do have a dog in the studio with us.
Yes, we do.
Really?
Get the leftovers.
Little guy's cute. Do 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 do. You guys are the best. I'll miss you for the next 5 days. Well, we'll be on tomorrow, Janice.
Yeah.
We just know Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
It's 4 days. Only 4 days.
Only 4.
So we're here tomorrow night, but not Thursday, Friday?
Correct.
Right. Okay. Yep. Holiday.
It's good because I have a lobotomy on Thursday.
Do you?
Another one?
Another one.
What's going on? I was going to say what's left.
It's a no-brainer.
They're going to use a melon. They're going to use a melon ball this time.
I haven't had a melon ball.
How are the crab cakes? Everything was a 10.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
The stuffed mushrooms were killer.
10.
Yeah, those are special.
Not 9, not 9.9. 10.
I must have had 4 of them, 5 of them already.
So all fresh. Everything's fresh.
The lamb was really good too. Really good.
Delgado's going for plate 5.
Yeah, well, Delgado knows he's not even going to stop by tonight.
Kevin Downey Jr. is coming
to the after party.
He's coming right now. I think.
Oh, that steams my clams.
No, I baked them.
Hanging out with me too long.
That's really steams my clams.
Where's Harry?
My Kevin Downey Jr. impression.
Is Harry going to have anything to drink there?
Pretty good, right? Shut up, Delgado.
Really?
No one helps David Zier cook. He does it all himself.
Nah, he's a one-man show.
He's a one-man.
First time I met David Zier, he was making meatballs. I knew his brother before I knew him, and he was at this gigantic stock pot, and he's making these meatballs. Phenomenal. I'll never forget it. It was the very first time I ever met you.
That was the Christmas lunch.
We were a lot younger. No, yeah, was it? I think it was.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night. Slick's doing sports. Yellow. Rick Delgado's doing the news. David Zier's going to do some more news. Aaron Fran holding it down. Harry on the highway in the building, too. Although he may be in a food coma at this point. Who knows with David Zier's cooking that we have here in the studio tonight. So
that's for sure.
Please welcome back to the show. Good friend of the show. We always love having him on. Senior Vice President of AMAC Action. That would be one Mr. Andy Mangione. Mr. Mangione, how are you?
Doing great, Damon. Glad to be here.
Well, I'm glad to have you here. I'll bet you wish you were here if you could see what's in the studio that David Zier cooked tonight between the baked clams and the shrimp and the lobster and everything else. I mean, it's just crazy, but I guess, we'll eat for you, so don't you worry. But so let me ask you, before we get to some of the things AMAC's working on, I'm sure you watched the debate Thursday night, and just want to give me what's your review of what we saw?
Well, I'm going to echo what everybody else has been saying. You can't be surprised to see the performance of Joe Biden last Thursday night. We all know we live in Realville. Okay, I'm going to quote the late Rush Limbaugh there. We live in Realville. We know this guy did not have the mental capacity to be elected in 2020, let alone fast forward to 4 years and put him up in a debate. It's sad. It's like watching an elderly relative whose sundown after, when the sun goes down, and it's horrible. Sundowning is a symptom of people with dementia, and we witnessed that on Thursday night. It's almost elder abuse. It was kind of sad to watch, but not surprising.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right about that. So, well, AMAC's obviously doing important work as always. One of the things you guys have recently launched is a national campaign seeking support for the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility. Some people may know it as the SAVE Act. Let's talk about what this legislation is, what it will do, why you guys have started this campaign, and we'll talk a little bit about who's supporting it. But tell us about it first.
Sure. What the SAVE Act does is amend the National Voter Registration Act to require states to obtain documentary proof of U.S. citizenship and identity in person when registering an individual to vote in a federal election. The bill also requires states to establish a program to clean up their voter rolls of non-citizens, and also gives states free access to databases like DHS and Social Security. But importantly, Damon, this bill empowers citizens to bring civil suits against an election official that fails to uphold the proof of citizenship requirement. It is, and that's a critical accountability measure that we were very happy to see be included in the SAVE Act.
Well, that would seem pretty antithetical to everything the Democrats want to do, given that 9 million people have come across the border, and they, of course, look at them as voters. And you've got, I believe it was the New York Post recently that had a piece that demonstrated that 49 states are actively providing voter registration forms without necessary proof of citizenship. So let's talk about support for this bill right now. Obviously, I would assume the Republicans, I would think there's a lot of support. Who is supporting this right now?
You've got, the last time I checked, Damon, over 100 Republicans were co-sponsors of this bill. Many of them, when the bill was introduced, it was introduced by Chip Roy. I double-checked, and I didn't see any D's on that list, but it doesn't matter because the Republicans have the majority. So there is Republican support for this bill, this very necessary bill.
Yeah. So what do we hope? What does AMAC hope to do as far as continuing to push support for this bill? You said 100. It would seem like that number needs to grow. It seems like it should be growing. What do you guys do from here? What do you hope to see? And obviously, why is this bill so important?
Well, our members are very engaged on this issue. They hold their right to vote as sacred, and they recognize that people die for this right to vote. So what we did, Damon, we launched a nationwide campaign yesterday on Monday, and it's run for 2 days now. And in that 2-day period, AMAC members have sent to the United States House of Representatives almost 15,000 messages compelling their member of Congress to support this bill. They're emailing, they're making messages as constituents first. So this is just not a campaign where a member of Congress might receive an email from somebody who's not their constituents. These are AMAC members calling in and emailing as constituents, compelling their member of Congress to vote for this. The Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, has committed to bringing this bill to the floor of the House for a vote very soon, hopefully sometime this month. We wanted to get a head start and show tremendous support for this bill, and we think we've done that over the past 48 hours.
All right, and of course, you can go to amac.us/studio6B and get your AMAC membership if you haven't done it. The specials they're running are just absolutely ridiculous. I think it's $1 right now for the first. What can people get AMAC membership for, Andy?
You're absolutely right. During the month of July is an Independence Day special. You could get 1 year for $1, or if you want to.
How is that possible?
Well, we want to take advantage of people's patriotism. We want to, we're an organization that supports the Constitution. It's a wonderful time of the year. So why not have a special and give people a break so they can get a taste of what you get as an AMAC member, which is a full menu of a robust menu of benefits in addition to full-throated conservative advocacy, like what we're doing in the House of Representatives right now for the SAVE Act.
Yeah, it's great work, such important work. I was obviously just kidding, but I mean, you can't get a better deal than that, folks. Get over there to amac.us/studio6B, $1 to get your first year. And like Andy said, so much important stuff comes with it. Just the information you get, the pamphlets, the information, the things to be involved with like this. If if this election is that important to you, these are the kind of things to step up and show that you're on the team. So amac.us/studio6B, go there now. Andy, always great having you on the show. Thanks for having a great sense of humor as well. And we love having you. Thanks again.
My pleasure, Damon. Thank you.
Andy Mangione, Senior Vice President, AMAC Action. Great stuff. I mean, $1 for your first year AMAC. Yeah. I mean, you get so much stuff with the membership, too. We got to just flood everybody over there. amac.us/studio6B. Go over there and show them this audience is as engaged as we know you are. So, all right, very good. 36 past the hour. Let's get back to do some news with the host of Breaking Point. That would be one Mr. David Zier. Mr. Zier, what else is going on?
Hey, $1. A stamp is like 73 cents.
I mean, it's just crazy. It's crazy.
Not quite that bad, but he's getting there.
Right?
Yeah.
Pretty soon. So, Rosie O'Donnell unhinged once again. We have cut number 5. She says
she's still around.
Reach out to your friends for help over SCOTUS.
What?
Yeah. She's nutty.
Check this out.
Oh, look at her. She's shot.
Those are the squirrels talking. They probably want more walnuts. All right, I'm going to go feed them. Listen, I'm depressed myself, but I'm trying to tell you out there, if you are, you got to hold on. We've survived all the depressing days so far. We'll survive this one. Reach out for your friends for help. Tell the people that you love how you feel. And
get out of here.
It gets better.
She is anymore.
She's unhinged. Representative Zoe Lufkin, did you guys play the Kill the Justices clip?
Yeah, we got SEAL Team 6 going all over to kill everybody now, don't you know?
Well, we got another crazy cut number 8. Man calls for Biden to kill Trump.
So since the Supreme Court just came down with some kind of decision saying that one man is above the law in this country, even though the Constitution says quite different, and they're supposed to uphold constitutional law. So I don't know what Constitution they read to get the answer for this. But since they say that a president is immune from prosecution for anything he does officially while he's in office, I think that Joe Biden should officially have Donald Trump killed off.
Yeah.
And that would solve this problem.
We could get out of that one. That's what's going on.
Too stupid.
No, he doesn't need a checkup from the neck up at all. He's totally fine, like most of their voters.
Yeah,
that's good.
But you know what? nobody's going to visit him. He won't get a visit from the Secret Service or the FBI. But if you're a mom and you show up at a school function to voice your displeasure, boy, you're on the list.
KGB,
which I'm sure we're all on the
coming
list
after
as well.
you.
Look out.
So, did you guys play You Gotta Know How to Know clip? Joe Biden, cut number 4. Someone please translate this for us.
Oh, boy.
So folks know these resources are available to them and anyone who needs them. I was telling the group who briefed me earlier, my brother has an expression, you got to know how to know.
Yeah, that's what's going on, and things are heating up in Lebanon on the Israeli border. Cut number 6, Hezbollah launches dozens of rockets into northern Israel yesterday. People had to be evacuated. 91% of northern Israel is evacuated at this point, which has been for some time. So they're preemptively going after Hezbollah because of stuff like this. And
Can we just go back to the Biden thing for 1 second?
Sure.
That clip was from the climate change scam meeting deal that they did today or yesterday? Was that yesterday or today?
It was
just happened, I
yesterday.
think, right?
Lost it.
Might have been
folks,
today.
Let me hear this again.
Know these resources are available to them and anyone who needs them. I was telling the group who briefed me earlier, my brother has an expression, you got to know how to know.
And they just sit there like it's like he's talking normal. People are like,
and they're like,
You got to know how to know.
wow.
What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, then they'll all applaud.
That's like being unburdened by
what has been.
Yeah, what has been. You got to know how to know.
You got to know how to know.
Like Kamala now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
And when you got to go, you got to go.
Yeah. When you got to go, you got to go.
He's ready to go. That's what Jill told us last week, right?
Right.
Jill's ready to go.
He answered every question, and he knew every question.
How would you like this dilemma? The pick between the porridge face here or unburdened by what has been? I mean, what kind of predicament is this?
That is poetic justice, I believe.
Yeah.
You paint yourself into a corner with your DEI hire, and you're stuck with it. Good luck. Nobody's going to save you.
And by the way, could you just imagine if they do pull this and he agrees, and then she goes to the top of the ticket, and then we start unpacking her history?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God.
Holy moly.
It's over.
I mean, you think Biden has baggage?
Guys,
hello?
It's crazy. I just wanted to share with you, it's a really sad day. The greatest mayor and the greatest prosecutor in history, Rudy Giuliani, has been disbarred for making false statements about the election. The coup has been underway in the United States for some time. Rudy,
since 2017.
Navarro, 2015, right? Since their meetings. Very bad. Very bad. It's just wrong. Just wrong. They're destroying this man who led us out of 9/11. Turned around New York City. We watched it firsthand. Put away the mob in New York City. Got him out of the Fulton Fish Market.
Erica's
cleaned up the sanitation business.
The best.
Concrete a little bit. So, they're destroying another Trump supporter.
Yeah.
Yep.
The other thing we should mention, we didn't talk about, is bravo, by the way, to Trump and his team. Not only the discipline on Thursday night that he showed, but to me, they're showing tremendous discipline every day. Because they are staying away from just let these lunatics continue to implode with every decision they're making.
Yeah.
He hasn't made any truths about anything directly about this. He made one truth today I saw about the Supreme Court ruling, which was magnificent. But he said, hey, he has really stayed out of this whole Biden implosion, replacing all of this stuff. And I think that's brilliant. Right?
Yeah.
Their comms people haven't. I saw Carolyn Levitt today. She's like, we'll beat who's ever up there. It don't matter. But they're not going after him directly as an old fool, and they're not going after her yet. They're just letting them implode.
Yeah. Never interrupt an enemy when they're destroying themselves. Yep. Let them have it.
All right, live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this.
Yo quiero taco dog. Last segment. And it's off to the Bacardi and the party. At Uncle Harry's. I didn't even see Harry. Where is he, in the hallway? Harry in the hallway?
I haven't seen him.
No, me neither. Shay McNary. Everybody's getting a shrimp. It's right about that. Not me. No crustaceans for me, baby. Monica Hood. We have some great people in the chat. The mods do a good job of sweeping out the winners, huh? Damon's got a guy trolling it tonight. He doesn't realize it. Or maybe he does. Hey, don't say so much, Delgado. I had to carry it last
I'm just
time.
reading. I'm reading.
People are here. They want to hear what you have to say.
I'm reading about election fraud.
So did you return the tux today?
Yes, the tux was returned.
Who had to return it, him or you? The mother.
Yeah.
I knew it.
I'm returning it.
I didn't make
I
my
had the
mother
car.
return my tuxedo. That's ridiculous.
I had the car.
Okay. Well, of course you wanted to return the car. Now, was it an automatic or like a slide shift?
It's paddle shifts.
Oh, there you go. All right. Not bad. That's what all the cars are now. You get the best of both worlds, especially on Long Island with the bumper to bumper.
Dude, that car was unbelievable.
I know.
Even 10 years old. Just an unbelievable. As soon as I got out of that, I turned it in and got in my car. I realized how bad my car sucked.
Yep.
Because that car is just so, even at 10 years old, just far above.
Wow, that car, that's a beautiful car. Yeah. And at California, that's a sweet model.
The way it sits, the way it grabs the road.
The saddle interior, like
yes.
Yeah, that's a nice look.
You should have seen, I was whipping it up Sunken Meadow Parkway.
Did you do a slow cruise through
No slow cruise.
Town? No.
There's no slow cruise. I got on that thing on Sunken Meadow. There was nobody in front of me. Womp. It just, you just feel that thing drop and grab the road.
Is there a place that those rent from? All right, 13 to the hour. Oh, this is the last segment, live from Studio 6B. Man, this night's gone fast with good food.
Not fast enough. I'm going to get to the party, Big D. Come on. Harry's making margaritas.
Yeah, margaritas.
Yeah, right.
Margarita Harry.
Harry on the blender. There you go.
All right, well, since he wants to get the hell out of here, let's do sports and let him go. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Use our code LFS6B, 50% off, 60% off. Sometimes great stuff from Lindell. Whatever you need. Towels, sheets, whatever. Everything is great from Lindell. So support him, support us. LFS6B is the code. Slick, go ahead, do sports,
all right,
and you can get out of here.
Sweep of the scoreboard. Big D, Major League Baseball. The Reds are holding on before the Yankees defeat right out of the jaws of victory here. 5-4. The Reds right now are winning, and it's at the top of the ninth. But I don't have any faith there. But let's hope my Reds can beat the Yankees because that's always nice bragging rights, especially with Delgado.
Like Reds.
It sounds like they're
my Reds.
I've been suffering. Rooting for that team since '75. Come on, Giants over the Braves 4-3, bottom of the eighth, top of the seventh. The Phillies over the Cubbies 5-1. Rangers blanking the Padres 7-0, bottom six. We're rain delay out in Kansas City. Rays over the Royals. They are 1-0. We have the Rockies over the Brewers 2-1, bottom four. Middle of the first, no score. Orioles and Mariners. And I gave you the finals earlier tonight on the Red Sox games and et cetera, et cetera. So, well, this is an interesting story, kind of sports related. Trump org blasts New Jersey's unjustified liquor license roadblock after mogul's conviction. New Jersey bars people convicted of a crime involving moral turpitude from holding licenses. This is Charles Kreitz of Fox News. Republican National Committee co-chair Lara Trump reacts after the debate between Trump and President Biden and shares her prediction. I'm reading something that's part of this news here. But yeah, let me get to the story. Sorry. The Trump Organization decried New Jersey's decision not to timely renew its liquor licenses as unjustified, as state officials pointed to former President Trump's New York versus Trump conviction. In June, a spokesman for the Trump Organization said rumblings of such a move ignored the fact that Trump does not personally hold any liquor licenses in the Garden State. Trenton officials pointed to a prohibition against persons convicted of crimes involving moral turpitude from hawking booze. On Tuesday, Fox News Digital obtained 2 letters Division of Alcoholic Beverage Control Interim Director Kristen Kruger sent to Trump properties in Bedminster and Colts Neck. See, we're getting the golf course involved here. Advising Trump Organization Executive Vice President Donald Trump Jr. of an upcoming renewal hearing. In response, a spokesperson for the Trump Organization reiterated its June contention and added the licenses affect many more people than the Trump family, while also padding Trenter's coffers. These liquor licenses support the livelihoods of many hundreds of hardworking New Jersey residents, including bartenders, waiters, and waitresses. They service thousands of members, and they contribute millions of dollars to the revenue streams of the state of New Jersey, the spokesman said. They are also relied upon by people for special life events, including weddings, christenings, and bar month. You get the idea. We sincerely hope that this investigation is not political in nature, and given the foregoing, we feel confident that our licenses will remain unaffected. The letters illustrated the state's claim that the elder Trump still plays into question the equation despite his being absent from the documents. Dear Mr. Trump Jr., the following notice of hearing is issued pursuant to authority vested of the Division of Alcoholic Beverages. The director has determined that a hearing is necessary in order to make her determination on the pending application. The letter regarding National Bedminster read. The division has become aware of various public records containing facts that raise concerns as to whether the licensee remains qualified to hold. This is just absolute nonsense. And, you have a golf course where you can't serve alcoholic beverages. You're going to have a lot of problems there. You're just not going to have people booking outings, which kills revenue and so on and so forth. So just wanted to get into it. This story goes on forever. Fox, man, they could overwrite stuff. But anyway, long story short, you get the gist. Trump is, once again, getting jerked around. But you know what? That conviction is not even going to stand anyway. We see where this is going. And that's Rapping Sports, Big D. Back to you.
All right, Slick, very good. Let's do a little more news for you, Rapping. Here with that's Rick Delgado. What's going on?
All right. Well, a couple things I want to make sure we get to tonight. I don't know if you caught former ESPN host Sage Steele has her own show now on X. And, she had on Wesley Hunt out of Texas, who had his own, I don't know if you caught this, who had his own recalling of his favorite Trump story. Here is cut number 10, Sage Steele and Wesley Hunt telling his favorite Trump story.
I'll give you my favorite President Trump story. This is my number one favorite of all time. When we were negotiating with the Taliban, while President Trump was still the president, President Trump wanted to get out of Afghanistan, but he wanted a conditions-based withdrawal, meaning that you do what we tell you to do, and then we will start pulling troops back slowly as long as you abide by our rules. It's President Trump and Mike Pompeo, and they are talking to Taliban leadership in the room, and they had one translator in the room. President Trump looked at the Taliban leader and said this: I want to leave Afghanistan, but it's going to be a conditions-based withdrawal. And translator translated. And he said, if you harm a hair on a single American, I'm going to kill you. And the translator goes, and Trump goes, tell him.
Yes.
Tell him what I said. Reached in his pocket, pulled out a satellite photo of the leader of the Taliban's home, and handed it to him.
Shut up.
Got up and walked out the room.
And that's
We've
how you
heard Trump tell that story.
Yeah.
A little different. Yeah, a little different version.
I love that
but
story.
Similar.
But that's how you negotiate.
That's one of my favorite.
That's badass.
That's Congressman Wesley Hunt out of Texas.
He's badass too, by the way.
Yeah, he's a stand-up guy.
Taking no prisoners, baby.
And I know we're short on time, so I'll throw you back to David Zier.
We got time.
You got anything? No?
Do I have anything? Keep going, Rick.
I got Steve Bannon on his take on who's going to save the United States of America. Don't wait for those quote-unquote conservatives in Congress to do it for you. Here's what he had to say. Cut 12.
The reason this country in the West is in the shape it's in is because the conservatives who talked a good game about doing better didn't have the balls to sit there and fight and say, no, This is why you have moms going to school boards to throw this pornography out. The reason we're winning in the United States, we're not depending upon a conservative elite who are gutless and feckless. We're depending upon mothers and fathers and school boards. We're depending upon working class people who are taking their extra time to go to precinct strategy because they said, hey, we're prepared to stand and fight and not let our country be taken. And that's what's important. Everything else is just conversation. You have to have the political will and the muscle to sit there and say, they can call me a racist, they can call me a nativist, they can call me a xenophobe, a sexist, a homophobe, all of it. When they get to that name calling, that means they've lost the argument and we're winning. Right. You've got to draw that pus, you've got to lance the boil and draw that pus out of the system. And the conservatives aren't prepared to do that. They'll curl up in the fetal position because they're not going to be acceptable with the clubs. You have to get over, you have to understand we're unclubbable and we're proud of it, okay? And we're going to save our country, and eventually leaders will step up in England and come to the forefront and save the United Kingdom.
So there you have it.
Where was that? When was that?
I believe that was, I think it was just over the weekend.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean...
But I mean, it's dead on.
The hotel, yeah.
If you landed on planet Earth yesterday and you listened to that clip, you would pretty much have an exact right... outlook on the Republican Party. I mean, that's it in a nutshell. You could tell that to a Martian and they would understand the Republican Party today. That's it. No, you know what's. They've got no guts. They're not willing to stand up. They're not willing to fight for anything. They're not willing to have a government shutdown fight over the border, over the debt, over nothing. The shutdown is more important than the actual issues. So can't be more right.
Yeah. And again, it goes back to how they view it. They want to be able to go to those clubs and rub elbows and have their tartar and champagne parties because that's all that's important to them, not what they were actually hired to do.
All right, as always, we salute our military, active and inactive police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, all our truckers, all our farmers, everybody that keeps the country moving. Thanks to everybody on the show. David Zier, thanks so much for all your hard work. What a fantastic spread it was, and thanks for being on the show. Kevin Downey Jr. out there in the kitchen, thanks for everything he's done. Harry on the highway, Aaron Frank, great job as always. Adam Weiss, his new show on the weekends, make sure you don't miss that. We'll see you over on YouTube. You want to come to the party? You can come through me. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll be over there here.
Oh, my God. They're out of control.
We'll be over there in the next couple minutes. And we'll see you tomorrow night right here live from Studio 6B.
The natives.